Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the topic is types of director. Already we had seen who is the director, who is shareholders, who is the managers of the corporate sector, and what are the duties they are having. Everything already we had seen the last class, isn't it? So now types of director. Director itself is there, so many types are there. First one is managing director, whole-time director, independent director, nominee director, additional director, alternate director, and ordinary director. So these are all the types of directors they classified into the corporate field. So first we had to see the managing director. What is the managing director? It's a common practice that the board of directors appoints one of its members to manage the affairs of the company as a whole-time officer and calls in the managing director. So one who is working the whole time in the organization, that director, that person is called a full-time, that means managing director. He acts as the chief executive, that means CEO also, chief executive officer also, we can say that. He occupies the position dual authority and responsibility. As a director, he attends the board meetings. As a manager, he performs the managerial functions and decision making and discussion about the strategic planning. So many things, whatever the long-term discussions, long-term decision makings, everything managing director, they can discuss with the board meeting and with the shareholders. So is the main thing is they had to mention in memorandum of association and articles of association. Already we studied in the documentation part of the second unit. In that they had to enter into the managing director's details. So it entrusted the substantial powers of management which would not otherwise be exercisable by him and includes a director occupying the position of a managing director by whatever name called. Then how they will appoint the managing director is the eligibility is required, isn't it? So the main eligibility is he has to, he is the one of the shareholder of the company, and he knows all the problems, and if it is problems, if they are facing, company is facing problems, how to solve the problem, what are the decision we have to take, how they have to approach the employees, and how they will approach the stakeholders, shareholders. So that these are all the things are very important. First, they have to take the appointment of managing director. They have to approval. They have to take from approval from central government. He is appointed at the first instance for the period of 5 years. So further they have to extend the period. So other shareholders also they have to accept. Then they can further they can continue the thing. Approval from others also. Next type of director is whole-time director. Whole-time director and managing director almost the same. But whole-time director means director in the whole-time employment of the company. So all the time they have to work in the company. In other words, director employed to devote the whole of its time and attention carrying of the affairs of the company. So almost 24/7 they have to work. So that is a whole-time director. Independent director. Next one, independent director. He is not in control of any organization under. He is appointed because he is having well knowledge about the company's details, company's accounts, or company's how to manage the companies. He is having good knowledge about the corporate sectors. So for that purpose, he appointed as an independent director. So in the board sense, independent director is a non-executive director. You see, managing director and whole-time director, definitely they can call as executive director. But independent director, not like executive director, is a non-executive director who does not have any kind of relationship with the company that may affect the independence of his judgment. So independent director act as a guide to the company. So he can give the advice, suggestions, opinion, whatever he knows the his own experience, and as well as he's having some knowledge. So related that he has to give the opinion and views, suggestions. These are all things they can give to that. So never he is not a member of the organization. Nominee director, on behalf of one director, he has to act as a director of the organization. So suppose for example, a nominee director is an individual nominated by an institution, including banking sector, financial institution, like that, on the board of companies. Which are such institutions? Some interest. So the interest can either be form of financial assistance, such as loans and investment of shares, etc. Such strategic investments may have a direct bearing the profitability of nominator, and therefore appointment of nominee director becomes essentials to facilitate the monitoring operations and business of the investee company. So that is also one of the thing. Suppose if the director, they cannot able to involve, or they cannot able to say their opinion, on behalf of that director, they will appoint as a nominee director. He is a full right to discuss with the company's problems and company's development. So the main purpose of the appointment of such persons is to safeguard the interest of the nominator without conflicting with his or her fiduciary duty of the director. Next one, additional director. Suppose if it is needed, is a very big organization, very large organization, huge activities are going on, huge events are happening. So they need additional director. So that they can appoint a additional director according to the Companies Act 2013 allows a companies appoint only fixed minimum and maximum number of directors in the public company. Private company also at least 2 directors is required. Public company at least must have 3 directors. So one person company must employ at least 1 director. However, all these companies can employ only a maximum of 15 directors. All these companies can employ only maximum of 15 directors. Only this, what is the condition in this? This excludes another company or any other association firm or any other body of artificial legal personality from the ambit of being appointed as a director. Alternate director. So behalf of one person, they can able to see, suppose if they left or anything happened, he died, or the director is not able to cope up with the duty, yes, due to any reason. So by the time they have to appoint as an alternate director on behalf of that. A director may appoint an alternate director to act as their substitute during the periods when the director unavailable or absent, any other reason. The idea of an alternate director is basically to ensure the continuous appointment of a director so the company operations are not halted by the absence of director. Suppose if it is absence because of him, they are others, they cannot able to take a decision properly. So in to avoid all the things, to appoint an alternate director, and they will solve the problems. Ordinary director is nothing but this who attends the board of meetings of the company, particulars and the matters, everything they will discuss. These directors neither whole-time director nor managing director. So in between one director, they are call it as a ordinary director. So these are all the types of directors is there. So in this, company to company will vary. What whoever wants, how many alternate directors they can appoint, or additional directors they can appoint, or managing director will be there, independent director will be there, like that it will be. They can appoint. I hope you understand very well about the director and types of director.